Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to today's video. We have a Wednesday fun day, Wednesday, and we are going to be getting into a full day of eating. Going to get an interval day at the track going, and yeah, going to take you along for the ride for the day. Sipping on a 3D, get some caffeine in before an arm day. Going to have a quick arm day, then get in for the intervals. I have two 2-mile runs and then a 1 mile, and I have target paces, which is about marathon pace. So we're targeting like an 8 to 8-10 mile, I believe. And then my coach said if you can go sub 8-minute miles on the second round of 2 miles, then go for it. So excited for this workout. It's really going to be a good test to see if I can hit these 8-minute miles for prolonged periods of time. And that would be a really, really good sign in the coming, I think we're about, we're like 10 weeks out from the marathon from now. But if I can start hitting 8-minute miles and get that stretched out for 26 miles for the marathon, that's going to be a 3.5-hour marathon, which would be incredible. I'd be really, really stoked with that. But, even sub 4 would be, I guess, pretty cool. But 3.5 would be really cool. So let's eat some breakfast. I'm going to show you what I'm eating. Gonna start the day off with some anabolic Dunkaroos. So gonna call them that now. So we got the peace signs mixed into a pudding-like consistency. And so it's like a dip, and then we get the rice cakes up in it, and then you're gonna give the dunk. And so we got it like that. My go-to breakfast right now. It's either be very consistent with these. I don't have to make a decision every morning. It's going to be 2 scoops of protein, no matter what. It's going to be the frosted chocolate cupcake, and then it's the only decision is, am I going to go Rice Krispies today, or am I going to go rice cakes? Usually, if I'm in a really deep part of my cut, it's going to be 30 grams of Rice Krispies because that's going to be very low in carbs. But as I get more food, because now I'm kind of in a maintenance / lean bulk, it's going to be rice cakes. These are like 60 calories each. So calories right now are at 2,700 as my base, and then however miles I cover, I add 100 calories per mile. So today could be like 3,500 calories or so. And depending on what I got for the day, I'll do 4 or 5 rice cakes. Since I'm going to be getting right into a run after my lift, probably going to do 5 or so. And that's the game plan. What am I doing with my weight? I'm weighing at around 216, between 215 and 217. Like most of my weigh-ins are going to be around there. Going into the marathon, I'm probably going to just try to stay in that 215 to 220 area. I feel lean here. I feel I can perform well, and I like the way I look. And so this is kind of like, if I were to just maintain a weight for the rest of my life, probably be the 215-ish area. Yeah, because I don't get the nasty stuff of getting like contest lean, and I don't even think 195 looks good anywhere besides the stage. But yeah, that 215 is probably like that best mix of fullness, but also leanness for me. But I'm a bodybuilder at the end of the day, so probably gonna do some bulks, maybe get bigger or leaner, and we'll see how it all plays out over the long term. But I'm gonna eat this up, then we're gonna go hit that training session. All right, so here's what I'm going to be sipping on. So we got our pre-workout. Shout out to PE Science with these fresh new shaker cups. Probably going to get the same ones. I emailed the owner PE Science, and we're probably going to do these for HFP because the color is pretty sweet. But what do we have in here? What is this concoction? We got some 3 scoops of high volume, so it's a serving and a half, and that is raspberry lemonade. I do a scoop of glycerol, so this is another like pump enhancing product. And then I do 2 scoops of creatine, so 10 grams in there. So that is my pre-workout. And then I have in this big jug what I'm gonna be sipping on throughout my lift. And then also I'm gonna replenish that for the run. So I've been using for flavor. These are just some flavor packets. It's the tropical Skittles. I get these off of Amazon because flavor packets got really expensive the last year. I remember like those Gatorade Zero ones that you could pour in. It used to be, I think like $2 for like 8 sticks or something. And now it's like, I think I see them sometimes like $4, $5, $6. And so it's pretty wild. And I think that this on like a 20 something pack is like $4. So we take those. And then I got some Element in there. So it's a gram of sodium for the electrolytes. So I sip on one. This is gonna be a half gallon of water for these 3, and then as I finish my workout, I'm gonna refill that. And then I'm also gonna grab another energy drink to sip right before I get into my my run. So I'm gonna drink this up, and we're heading over. And then I got some carb gels. I'll probably have one right before we start the run, and may have one during, but you know, messing with some strategies. I've been doing gummy worms before my runs instead of like rice cakes, just because I don't want anything heavy in the stomach, because then you have to go to the bathroom in the middle of a run. It's not a good time, and that could cost you time in the marathon. So figuring out that is actually a big part of running strategy. Is just making sure you have stuff that does not impede your running and make emergency stops. So we're gonna head over to the gym. So we got this new forearm machine. It's got wrist curls here, and then in front of me, you could also do like a wrist kind of clamp as well. So this is good for my elbow. That's still a little iffy, but at the Spartan race last video, didn't act up, which is really good. So just gonna hit some of these. This is the first superset. All right, next superset is gonna be curls and lateral raises. We're doing preachers.
Play a game or stop it. Love is so blind, but I left my glasses at the house where we met almost 3 summers back. You can't blame me for the crazy things you made me do. Love is so blind, think I got caught in a trap.
Part 2, yeah, curls and extensions. So we're gonna finish up with JM press. So physique update, woke up today 217, and the run has been good for the tan, so that takes 5 pounds of body fat off.
You can't blame me, you can't blame me, you can't blame me, you can't blame me. Love is a poison, drink without knowing, don't know it. Play a game or stop it.
Hello, we're back. So we are now at the high school, and just realized, because the marathon's in October, me and Nicole were like, if I've been training at like 7 a.m. at a track, when school starts, how is parking gonna work? And also, am I gonna be kicked off because first period's gonna... So I gotta figure that piece out too, so we'll see how that works. I'll probably just try to really condense my arm days. But what the workout is today is gonna be, it says 2x2 plus 1. So we got 1.5 mile warm-up jog, 2 sets of 2 miles at 8 to 8:10 pace, and then that's going to be with 3 minutes standing rest between, so get a nice recovery. And then I got 1 mile at a sub 8, so that's going to be 7:40 minute pace to 7:50 is the target. And he also said, shout out to Adam, if you can average sub 8 on the second set and do without pushing too hard, then do it. So we're gonna see, because last time he gave me a little test, I failed. He was like, do 13 miles, and he was like, bring the pace up for the last 4, and I struggled. He wanted 8 to 8:30 and I got 8:45. But we got the shoes. These are closing in on 400 miles, so I gotta probably get a fresh pair. Like the lifespan on training shoes is like 300 to 400 miles. Gotta get a pair of those. We got the shades. We got some aqua. And then I'm gonna get, this is the nastiest flavor. They're all pretty good except this one, but I'm gonna have a gel. Vanilla orange. Yummy. Yeah, this is actually my least favorite out of all of them. The apple's the best. But we're gonna get into this workout and hopefully we hit these good paces, so let's get started. So we just got to the track and like as I was getting my stuff from the car, I was like, oh yeah, I need to program this into my watch. And I realized I forgot my watch at home. And I think that the app that I typically use is only good, is only able to be used on the watch. So I may just have to do like interval by interval. So I think fortunately this is a simpler, it's not like 10 sets of like 1,000 meters. So it's a more simple workout because there's only like, 5 intervals. We have a 1.5 warm up, we got a 2 mile, a 2 mile, and a 1 mile, and then a 1.5 cool down. So this is not the worst problem, but man, I messed up. But we'll get it done. We're gonna see what the speeds are. I'll use Strava, or I'll see if I can use this from like the phone. I'll just probably go phone in hand to keep up on pace. First 2 miles done. That was a 8 laps, and I just did phone in hand. We hit, target was 8 to 8:10 pace, hit 8:02. Coach said on this next one, if I can beat 8 minutes, go for it, but also don't, blow your load and go for like 7 minutes. So I'm gonna try to beat an 8 minute per mile pace on this next 2 mile go ahead. But I got 3 minutes standing rest, so I'm gonna take a drink and then see you guys in a bit. Second 2 mile done. Wanted to beat sub 8, but not go like overboard on the heart rate. Got 7:49, so really happy about that. Now we got the final mile. The target was 7:40 to 7:50. So I'm shooting for that 7:40-ish area, but let's see how this goes. But just 4 laps left, then we got the cool down, and then we get to go home and eat. See you in a bit. So that mile is done. We got, oh, okay. As I was running, it was saying like 7:28, 7:29, but it says 7:31, which is kind of in the vicinity of where I wanted. So overall, pretty good. Didn't go too hard, so good. Got 6 laps to do a cool down, and then we're gonna get home and get some food. So see you guys after that. We are back at home. We got 1% battery. Let's get this clip. So I got bavette steak, or bavette, whatever that is. We got a pound of it. It is beautiful. I smoked and then seared this yesterday. Super excited about that. It's probably one of my favorite things to prep and eat. And then I got some 647 bread. So you already know, high fiber bread. So I'm just gonna have a couple of that and make the good old, throw 2 pieces on, wrap it up, and we got a beautiful, delectable post-workout meal. I'm in a shower and I gotta get into the office real quick. We're back for another meal. It is, gosh, I haven't given you guys all the timestamps. So woke up at 4, lifted 5 to like 6:30, then the track was like 7, got back at 9, and last meal was like 9 something, and now it is 11:30. So that's a little update on that. I got more steak, another pound of steak. This is going to be flank steak from Costco. So if you guys are preparing flank steak, or even the bavette or bavette steak, or bavette steak. Nicole Googled it, and I think somebody pronounces it bavette. So again, I think I asked this in a previous vlog, but like, I don't know how to pronounce it. But flank steak is similar. You want to cut against the grain, and that's going to make sure you can actually pull it apart. So with any steak, you want to cut across the grain because that's going to allow you to have more of a tender cut. If you cut with the grain, then your slice of steak is just going to be these muscle fibers. So you got to actually like bite through the muscle fiber, rather than having a cross section where it's just like all these muscle fibers cut in half, and then they can pull it apart or bite in half. Yada yada. Steak is good. But yeah, so having some flake steak. This is from like Costco, and just pretty much doing same thing as earlier, throwing it on some high fiber bread, and that's gonna be this quick meal. This is kind of like how I like to eat in these middle of the day meals. It's just gonna be some kind of meal prepped meat, and I just throw it on 647 bread. I'm a simple guy, pretty boring guy. But that's the game plan. I'm gonna eat up, but I think that puts me at like 250 grams of protein already. So that's great. Let's eat. Next up, so just been on calls for last couple hours. We got a creamy though. And so this beautiful, you guys see that? That's insane. This whole pint is like 300 calories. So darn good. And the mixing that I'm trying is Gatsby chocolate. You can only get these in like Walmart. I think it's the makers of Halo Top. So they just pretty much use a sugar alcohol called allulose, so it's less calories than like, you know, full calorie carbs or sugar. And then it's got, dang, for the whole bar, it's got 17 grams of fiber. So don't have this before your runs. I wouldn't recommend it. So gonna eat this up. This is about 300 calories. If you guys don't know my creamy base, it's almond milk, sugar-free Jell-O mix, scoop of PE Science protein. This one I did cookies and cream. That's been pretty solid. A little bit of sweetener, and then a pinch of salt. So very, very simple. And you can get a whole pint of ice cream for 200 calories. And then you add some mix-ins, like some low-calorie chocolate. So I'm gonna eat this up. We actually have, because I do these on Wednesdays, every 3 weeks we do a dance lesson. So we're gonna hit our waltz. And for today, we're gonna do some waltzing, and we do those every 3 weeks. And the reason why we had to bump this up a week is because we leave for a cruise for next week, which we're super excited for. Probably gonna have to run a half marathon in training on a cruise ship. So we're gonna see how that one plays out. But definitely keep an eye on my shorts for that one. But I'm gonna eat this up, enjoy this, and then I will see you guys probably at our lesson.
I saw your hand and I still didn't do it.
I know. He was like, hand!
There we go. What's good, everybody? So it is 7 p.m. Just had a ton of calls to end out the night, but again, all good things must come to an end. But I've enjoyed our time together. We've been hanging out, and I'm at a different corner of the kitchen, and it's kind of like I just place myself in every corner of the kitchen. So the fridge is over there. That's the eat my breakfast spot. Over there is my good morning spot, and over here is in front of the dishes and the creamy graveyard spot. But we're gonna close out this video. We did 8 miles worth of running in intervals. So I added 800 calories to my 2,700 calorie base. So to finish up the day, I had a couple rice cakes to snack on earlier, and then I'm pretty much gonna eat this entire bag of popcorners. And these, I might not, may have to find something else. I'm gonna see if these are sale and expired. So I'm gonna risk it all. They've been sitting in the pantry for some time. But if I do consume these, which I'm probably going to, ended macros are 3,500 calories, right around, 89 fat, 422 carbs, 314 protein, 60 grams of fiber, and that's going to close us out for today. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. We are, I believe it's like 10 weeks out from this marathon, and really happy about today's run, and happy that all my muscle is not lost just yet. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you guys next time. Keep it flexible. I'm out.